Hello there, this is Lynette. Last week I promised to do a flip through of my storyline chapters. Now initially when I started out, I wanted to use one of these folders for the whole year, but I'm unable to scrap flat. I just can't do it. I'm normally a 12 by 12 scrapper, and layers is what it's all about. So I will have to use two folders for this year because as you can see, 6 months and the album is ready to explode. So today I'm going to share with you the first 3 months of this year. I had a little intro page to start off with just a little photograph of me and Quibus, and I made the page pretty. And everything was a learning curve. Initially, I didn't know how to go about this. I looked at a lot of Jamie Pate's videos. I liked what I saw, and I decided to go the weekly spread, sort of a twist on the project life with a main story on the one side. So January was a quiet month, so I basically had, this spread is all about one day that we went to go and walk at the beach. Now, our beaches were closed at the beginning of the year due to COVID. So we did a trail, and the trail took us over the beach, which was a huge plus because I was having serious withdrawal symptoms from the beach. I love the beach. It's one of my happy places. At this point, I don't know whether I'm going to actually do my journaling in English or Afrikaans. So at this stage, everything was still in Afrikaans. So this is my main story. And then the next week, Wynand, Nadia and the boys came back from their weekend away, their week away in Baffianskloof, and we went to go and see them. The week prior to that, we spent a lot of time. It's summer in South Africa, so a lot of swimming, a lot of exercising, working in the garden, spending time. You can see here that I choose a few photos for every week, and then I do my journaling under some of the pattern paper pieces. Here is Eben and his two brothers and his father in the swimming pool. And die manne is basically the men in Afrikaans. The Addo Elephant Park is very close to our home, so we love to go and visit the Addo Elephant Park. And this week was all about our visit to the park. It is such a blessing to be so close to nature. Week 4 was the start of my birthday week. I turned 60, and the plan was initially that we would go to Mauritius or somewhere exotic to spend the holiday on my birthday away from South Africa. But things didn't work out like that with the COVID, so I just didn't want to be home. We chose a time when the beaches were still closed, as you can see here. But we went to Beacon Isle in Plettenberg Bay, and we made the best of what we were dealt with. You can see here, Beacon Isle the hotel was very empty. It's probably the emptiest we've ever seen it. And then we went to all sorts of outings around Plettenberg Bay. Here I copied Jamie Pate's little fold out. We went to go and visit the Garden of Eden, and I added all the photographs on the inside, made a little fold out. It's really a pretty destination, and we forget that there is so much beauty that we can visit right around the corner from our homes. I like to use a large photograph. It's always so impactful. And Cobus standing with this huge old tree. Such a beautiful photograph with all the ferns in the foreground. The following week we went for a walk, another walk that we basically bit off more than what we could chew. What we didn't realize at the time was that the route would take us over a very pebbly beach, and that it was 9 kilometers long. And it all went well initially because we went through the forest and through the fern canopies, and it was beautiful. There were streams and ferns. And we reached this little pebble beach after 2 kilometers and had to decide whether we're going to turn around or go forward. We went forward, and easy going? Hell no. It ended up being quite a traumatic event, as when we were about 5 kilometers in, you can see it's beautiful there, absolutely stunning. But 5 kilometers in, I actually had a fall on the rocks, and I was winded, and Cobus had to basically pull me over the rocks and just about pulled me up this very high cliff to get back to civilization, because there was nobody else on the route. And we were fortunate that we could still reach the forestry office, and that they could send out a bakkie to fetch us and pick us up. This is the photograph that we took from the top of the cliff. It's absolutely beautiful. At the time, I did not appreciate it at all. The next day was my 60th birthday, and we spent it quietly. We visited the Birds of Eden, and had a late breakfast and saw some beautiful exotic birds. Most of them are from South Africa. Here I used a lot of Heidi Swapp honey and spice embellishments. For the weekend, we had we had a lodge that we booked out for the weekend for the whole family. We missed Cobus, Lachey and the kids, but it was impossible to have them here from Australia, so we made the best of it. It was just such a blessing to be in the quiet in the middle of the forest and just have time to play games, swim, walk in the woods, and have fun. As you can see, my spreads are always very photo heavy. I just can't seem to decide what must go into it and what must be left off. I want to remember everything. This was the road to the lodge that was deep in the forest. The following weekend was Wynand and Nadia's wedding anniversary, and Eben and Lucas stayed with us. So these were photos taken during the weekend. And the prior week, Wynand and Nadia. And Eben had this thing where he always hung on for dear life when he was brought in with his little car seat. And it's a story that I wanted to remember. And then the beaches opened. So we spent a lot of time on the beach walking. We do have the most beautiful beaches in South Africa. At the end of February was Cobus's birthday, and we had the whole family around for lunch. Stefan started grade 2. I received a photograph from Australia with Liane and Kian. And this is a little photo that I also want to always remember, because this is Sumo, our Sharpei, and in the mornings he actually sits and waits at the window for Eben to come. It's so sweet. The week after Kobus's birthday, we went for our 2-week vacation in Umhlanga, that is in Natal. We drove up, and this was the view from our unit. It was also, that week we received the surprise that Lucas was inducted as a prefect. We had a breakfast for Kobus's 66th birthday. One of the couples at the mission got married, and Wynand and Nadia went to the wedding. And then this is basically just talking about how we enjoy our walks along the Umhlanga promenade. Another beautiful photograph of Umhlanga. Beautiful beaches. A lot of walks. During this time, one of our people at the mission passed away, so we want to remember her as well. And then in South Africa, they started an initiative where they are actually painting rocks and putting it out along trails for people to find. And these were my findings the first week in Umhlanga. I always make quite a bit more layouts over times that we are away, so it's not necessarily strictly spread a week. One thing we never miss when we are in Durban is to go and visit the Durban Botanic Gardens. It's one of our happy places. And I made this little waterfall pull down so that I could add more photographs to the spread. As you can see, it's an absolutely stunning place, and a place where you actually find your peace. Lots of ferns. The climate in Durban is very tropical, so the plants are absolutely exotic and beautiful. Another place that we love to visit is Mitchell's Park in Berea, Durban. As you can see, the tropical foliage is just beautiful. We also visited the bird park in Umgeni and took a lot of selfies, as you can see. Kobus is the only one that's up early enough to get photographs of sunrise. I'm a bit of an exhausted pigeon in the mornings. And it's just the beautiful time that we spend there. This was our last day in Umhlanga, so we tried to do as much as possible. We visited the Botanic Garden again. South Africans will know what this signifies. Our president was always pictured with a shower head on his head, and we found these seed pods that looked very much like a shower head. This is a beach vendor. They sell everything that you could possibly need on the beach. And then we went back home, and my normal week started with walks with Eben through our neighborhood. Sumo had to have a surgery. It's called entropion. So they had to basically cut away a lot of the skin around his eyes because his eyelids were turning in, and there was the possibility of him going blind. This was also a very special week in our life because we heard that Lucas was chosen to be deputy head boy for grade 7. in his final year. So here he is with his opa. Here he is with the principal and the other deputy, the deputy head girl and the head boy and head girl. And here he is with Nadia and Wynand. So that is the end of my first 3 months. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to be back soon to share another 3 months with you. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoyed it.